Welcome to Divinely Engineered. I am the Divine Engineer. This message is going to be a collective read for the Divine Collective, all signs. Please take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? So, um, the download here is there's two people in your energy, okay? So, while I was sitting in my car, there was a raven that came and flew next to me, like next to my car. So the raven is looking at me, like kind of checking me out, um, and just like kind of sizing me up, right? So after that, there was another raven that came and stood next to them, and they looked like they were interacting a little bit. But the other one came and stared at me too, like they were sizing me up too. Now, after they both stayed there for a little bit, like neither one of them were scared. Like they both stayed there, and I was looking directly at them. They were looking directly at me. So then they both flew off, right? One flew off first, and then the second one flew off. So they both flew to like kind of the same area, but one was on the lower on the ground, and one flew up and was standing like standing on a lamppost, right, looking down at the other one, kind of pecking at the ground. Not really, not getting any food or nothing. Like I don't even know why they were doing it, but they were just pecking at the ground, right? So the download with that is there's two people in your energy. Now, the first person who was the first raven to come, that is somebody who's been in your life a little bit longer. That's somebody who's been sizing you up longer. Right. Okay. So that person came out, and this energy came out in a previous reading. You might want to go watch the Karmic Mother, that reading that I had posted. So this Karmic Mother is coming out, right? It is a Mother of Knives, which is like similar to like the Queen of Swords, coming out in reverse. So this energy is going to be, and take this how it resonates, right? This is a karmic feminine. This is somebody who you called mother, was in a mother role for you. This could be a grandmother. This could be a karmic aunt. Take the feminine energy how it resonates for you, but I'm heavily getting mother here. So this mother has kind of been like sizing you up your whole life, right? And when we talk about the characteristics of this mother, this is somebody who, in the upright, this card is somebody who is very religious, somebody who is in the church. This is somebody who, this is the Bible right here. This is, they receive messages from the divine, very connected spiritually, and very wise, right? They're really wise with the knowledge and the information that they get from the divine, right? So somebody who's very intuitive, very sharp. Now, with this in the reverse, that would be a mother who is the shadow elements of this. So somebody who thinks that they're smarter than God. This is somebody who thinks that they're smarter than other people. They try to outsmart other people. So this is a manipulator. This is a narcissistic energy. Now, with that energy towards the church kind of being reversed, or that connection to spirituality, or that connection to God, that just lets me know that this is somebody who potentially like kind of plays in God's face, like somebody who speaks of God, but they really know nothing of God, right? They don't believe in God, but to other people, they come off as somebody who, this could be like somebody who goes to church, or if they don't have to go to church, or somebody who always has little religious antidote or something like that, right? Somebody who you wouldn't suspect of not being a devout Christian, or somebody who you just think is tapped in, they're wise, but really it's all a mask, right? This is not an energy that has that connection to source, so it's mimicking that connection to source. This is somebody who mimics wisdom but is not necessarily wise. This is also a very cold-hearted and vindictive individual. This is somebody who is also very, very selfish, but this is also a very distorted way of thinking, with this being in the reverse, right? And when you think of a knife, if you don't wield it correctly, you can hurt people. And this is somebody who intentionally used their thoughts to create like plans and ploys purposely to intentionally hurt you. And that's what that sizing up, that raven sizing me up energy kind of represented. So then we had this second energy of that second raven that came in right after. So this Son of Knives in reverse would have been somebody who is younger than this mother, this karmic mother, or at least like energetically more immature. They're not necessarily, this person is a manipulator energy as well, but they're not as strong as a manipulator as this karmic mother, Mother of Knives in reverse would be. So this is somebody who you look at, who they are holding a knife, like they're waiting to get somebody outside of a church, right? So this is somebody who is mentally immature. The way that they process thoughts is very, very immature. They don't look at things. This is not somebody who does self-reflection. They're always the victim in their situation, right? They'll always spin a conversation or a situation to where they're the victim and how people are wronging them. So always like a kind of like a master manipulator type of energy. Well, the master manipulator is the mother of knives, the karmic mother. This is more so like an ex energy, right? Somebody who came into your life after this mother figure was already in your life. So, right, so clearly your mother figure raised you. This is somebody who you met in your life recently, a couple years ago, however long it was, right? So this is somebody who, see, two ravens together is called a conspiracy. So these are two people who plotted against you, and both are in your energy at this time. So with the Son of Knives, that's somebody who's very sneaky, very deceptive, very cunning, somebody who wants you to believe that they're not a threat, but they're probably one of your biggest threats, right? But this is also somebody who paints a lot of illusions, somebody who tells a lot of lies to cover their true intents and just how like demonic and evil their true self is. Now, when you look at this Son of Knives, you see the church back here. So again, having that church element in reverse, this is somebody who doesn't necessarily, this is somebody who also doesn't believe in God, even if they talk about God, even if they quote scriptures. This is somebody who doesn't believe in God because there's something in this person's life, in both of these people's lives, that happened where there's some type of traumatic event or a series of traumatic events that made these people turn their back on God because they felt like God turned their back on them. So these are people who still go to church, who still quote Bible scriptures, like somebody who you wouldn't suspect that has this level of hatred for God or spirituality because they feel left out in the cold, right? So these people are manipulators because they want to project that energy upon other people. Now, instead of healing the trauma or whatever traumatic event that it was, they are projecting this pain on to you, Divine Collective. So that's where that conspiracy part comes in. So with this, and let me jump over here for a second because I also want to talk about what current, like the energy that they're in right now towards you. So we have this Four of Knives, and that was in the reverse. So when you look at this Four of Knives, this is somebody who is comfortably resting, getting their sleep, somebody who feels like whatever they've done, they're satisfied with, and they can rest while it happens, or, you know, they can just rest, right? So this in the reverse, excuse me, is giving me that these people like cannot rest. Like they feel like they were not able to manipulate you. They weren't able to win and beat you at the game of manipulation because you've healed from what they have put you through, right? So they're in this unrest energy. These people could potentially be losing sleep over you, thinking about you, and kind of how you've escaped their plan, their conspiracy, because remember, those two were together. So when we have this Daughter of Knives, this is somebody who is very comfortable, very spiritually gifted, people who receive messages from the divine, also from the divine ancestors, intuitive messages telling them which way to go. Now, this is your energy, collective. You are also showing up as a Mother of Baskets, which is like similar to that Queen of Cups energy, somebody who's very loving, nurturing, a sweetheart, somebody who whenever you need a hand, you see her hand is extended, she will help you, you know, somebody who doesn't necessarily want anything in return for helping people, just a very genuine, loving soul. Also very, very intuitive and connected, right? So again, emphasizing that Queen of Cups energy, a very psychic and also loving, nurturing, kind of like a mothering energy, right? So you would mother and love on the people around you. So that was clarifying them being in unrest. So these people are very, very, they're upset that you're in this energy of following your path, following the intuitive nudges, and still being happy after they betrayed you, right? They don't necessarily understand that energy or how that could be. So with the Seven of Baskets here, the Seven of Baskets really gives me like head in the clouds. You see somebody's taking a bath, which typically you think would bring somebody peace, right? But as they're trying to come to peace, as they're trying to figure something out, you see that their mind is really clouded with all of these different baskets. Baskets representing feelings, past trauma, pain, just old cycles that are on this person's mind, right? So these two people really wanted to keep you in this energy of not necessarily in terms of love. They didn't want you to be able to manifest somebody like this Father of Coins energy here, who is very stable. Like, you see this Father of Coins here looks like somebody who is very wise. There is like a genie lamp representing this person knows what they want and how to make that happen, especially with that fire energy right there. This is somebody who is a protector, a provider, like really like a man's man type of energy. Now, they wanted you to be in this unhealed state and blinded to what those good qualities would be when you see it, if you were continuing to play these old cycles, old habits of people who've hurt you and taking that out on the new people coming into your life, you know. So you would always just push away love and not be able to recognize this kind of good man, great for you, what you're actually looking for type of energy, right? So what's very, very interesting is this Daughter of Sticks also came out in the general energy. So this is also your energy collective. So if you look at this this card, it kind of reminds me of like the Page of Wands. So it's somebody who, and it's a feminine energy. You could be a divine feminine. If you're a man, you absolutely embody both the divine feminine and the divine masculine. You could be in your feminine energy. So take the energy how it resonates. But this is you really in your feminine energy, really ready to, you're very hopeful. You're looking to the future with purpose and with passion. If you see these birds up here, kind of signifying like divine messengers, they're kind of pointing in an arrow, showing you and guiding you where you want to go. And the sticks really represent like passion. So what makes you passionate, what you're excited about, your career, your goals, the fire to be able to go after them. So you see, this is somebody very energetic, very much charging at their goals and focusing on what they need to be focusing on. Now, because you're in that energy, that's really allowing you to balance out a lot of the energy and the trauma that you've experienced, right? So with this Father Thames, this is the Temperance card. So you see how he's like pouring water on the like the rooster, and that to me also is signifying chickens coming home to roost. So they're pouring the fire out that these people put into your life, and they're also, by calming the storm in your life, like that fire is being transferred over to theirs, right? Because of karma. So now you're in this energy with this 10 of baskets, which is similar to that 10 of cups. And if you look at this card, there's other people, like a happy picture, like thinking of like a happy family. This is really representing like your soul tribe. You're coming into contact with people who resonate with your story, resonate with your energy, really get you, see you for who you are. Not manipulative people, but people who will tell you how great you are, who will try to help you elevate, and just people who are just good to be around, right? Genuine love and support after you've experienced the complete opposite. And this is really weighing these two people down, this mother and this ex, right? So right now also we have this Aunt Caroline energy, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and also this Big Mama energy, which is like representing the Sun card. So this speaks of like you're destined to be happy. You're somebody who's destined to be abundant. You're destined to have more of more than what you need, right? You're not supposed to be here. Your destiny wasn't to come here and to be in lack, and that's just what it is, right? And that has got these people very fucking uneasy. Now, part of the reason why, because there's two energies here, right? So there's this, but see, the interesting part about it being two energies is, and I even noticed this in the readings of the predominant energy that was coming out, was like more so the Karmic X energy, right? And the Karmic Mother was kind of peeking through, but not really. But there's more to the story here with the Karmic Mother, because after the two ravens flew away, and one was on the ground and one was up taking the high ground and kind of looking down as if they were like the mastermind, the person who set everything in motion. And that's this Karmic Mother here. So the Karmic Mother really put, like, there was some type of conversation here. There was some type of agreement here. There was some type of plan with this Son of Coins being in reverse, right? So this talks of like you educating yourself before you do something, right? And something that is about money with this coins here. So it's something that they could have even paid for spell work to be done, but there was some type of plan to do this, right? There was money spent and intention and energy and earthly energy spent on this. this. Now you notice the zodiac wheel in the background, right? So that gives me that these people could have went and got readings to not only see if this would work, but see readings if the plan was going to work. This karmic mother with this is more so next to her. So this was her plan. She was the mastermind of this. Even though this person, this is a low vibrational energy. This karmic X is a low vibrational energy anyway, but I'm getting a heavily of the finesser getting finessed. I'll be quite honest with you. Like, this is a more heavy hitter, liar, finesser, somebody who's more seasoned in it, and this person is probably older than this karmic X. So they kind of had a leg up on the manipulation. They've been doing this shit a little bit longer. They're kind of like a bigger devil, okay? So this plan here, this plan was really all about getting you weighed down in this 10 of Sticks energy. They wanted to put this kind of these traumatic situations, multiple traumatic situations. They just didn't, this is a mother who did not want to see you happy, wanted to see you very, very weighed down, wanting to see you not seeing the brighter side of things, wanted you to look at life and the world is glass half empty, that everybody's going to hurt you, just very, very guarded, very weighed down. And the ultimate goal was for this to break you, right? For this to break you out of this loving, caring, and kind, energy. But it's really, really interesting here because you're coming up as somebody who's very, very spiritually gifted. You're very intuitive, and so much so that this is something that would have showed up in your childhood, right? So as a kid, you may have said things that kind of startled or alarmed this karmic mother to really show and hint at, and not even hint at, but confirm your spiritual gifts, how tapped in you were. So you could have said something that there would be no way that you should know because it was from a person that passed away before you were born, but somehow you just knew and you just said it. And you as a kid not thinking anything of it, just going about your day, just saying shit. And then they're looking at you like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So I'm getting that there were instances like that. And I'm saying that because the Son of Sticks came out, and this represents a very spiritually gifted child. And this gives a child that can protect themselves, even though small. They're very, very connected. They have a lot of wisdom. They know how to wield that wand, right? This is somebody who's in their purest form before the world can corrupt them. Very, very spiritually powerful, to also be able to see the snakes around them and protect themselves from the snakes around them. So because your mother seen that gift, that's where that 10 of Sticks comes in. Of they wanted to almost like, it's like damn near beat that gift out of you, or at least disconnect you from the gift, right? So this is all about keeping you in an energy of, because when you're in that high vibration, that's when you're really getting the messages, when you're doing the downloads. You become in a very depressed state when you don't follow your intuition, and you're frustrated with the current cycles that you're in. And they wanted to keep you in that energy of always frustrated, never really figuring it out, right? Keeping you in illusions, pissing on you and telling you it's raining, okay? So But this is your natural state. This is the natural state that you have been in as a child, right? And so she's done a lot of things to prevent you from walking this path. Now, really what this is a case of is your mother understanding and knowing and having a sense that you were chosen when you were a child. Now, this is not somebody who would have told you you were chosen. This is somebody who would have kind of projected a lot of things onto you to make you feel like you weren't chosen. So everything, every positive characteristic, every gift that you had would try to flip that on you to make you feel like that wasn't something that you had access to or something that you would ever be, right? It's kind of like casting that illusion where I can change your destiny if I get you to think that you don't have one, or if you can't see it, right? If God isn't showing it to you, then you'll never reach that level. A very manipulative, very jealous, very sadistic, very demonic way of interacting with your child, the person who you were, the child who you were supposed to love and to nurture. This is a very cold individual. This mother, even if she did come off now also with this, like that church lady in reverse, this is somebody who could be a part of some like very dark things and you're not aware of. Like I'm talking about like satanic energy, really dark magic, and potentially being like some type of coven where they conspire with other people to do that. But also coven can meaning part of that coven being this ex coming together to conspire against you, right? So take that energy how it resonates. But this is someone who really hatched a plan, and with it being in reverse, this person, because their energy is so distorted, their mind is so distorted, their mind is so dark, they didn't necessarily cover all of their bases, right? Because if this person knew that you were chosen, if this person truly knew what being chosen was, it's not just some, party tricks to pull out of your a rabbit out of a hat at a party. Like this is actual spiritual protection that comes with these gifts. Now, God knew that you were going to be in this kind, loving energy, right? They knew you were going to be very empathetic and open to energy and sensitive to the energy around you. This mother definitely sensed that sensitivity in you because she sensed that purity and that gift, right? So when you have that level of sensitivity in a child that's actually extra sensitive, that's a child that you really have to protect, right? That's a child that you really have to protect from the horrors and the dangers of the world until you can educate them on how to move so that people don't use that kindness as their weakness. This is a mother who did not do that for you. So she lets you go out into the world naive, purposely trying to burden you or get you in these situations where it diminished your hope and really broke your spirit, right? She wanted this 10 of sticks to be able to break your back, okay? And this is somebody who has invested a lot into it. Now, the reason I know that they have invested a lot into it, because this 10 of knives is here. This represents betrayal, being stabbed in the back. And this is somebody coming out of a church, like feeling like they're stabbed in the back. And this signifying your mother kind of giving this false mask of somebody who is godly, a woman of God, somebody who can be trusted, somebody who is upstanding in the community, perhaps to the outside environment, because maybe a lot of people didn't know that with you crawling out this house, not everybody knew what was going on inside your house. Not everybody understood the level of manipulation and just how demonic of a mother you had, right? How this mother was the one who was intentionally stabbing you in the back, right? And now to the world, you're presenting as if you're just like emotionally, you're just kind of fucked up, where you're just naive, and people are just like, I don't know why you're so naive. And it's because of this mother and how she raised you intentionally, though. I really want to clarify that this was very intentional, that this was an intentional, every single knife that was put into your back was with purpose and was for reason. It was well thought out. It was a manipulative ploy to get you to not be able to stand, to not be able to walk, to keep you down, to keep you weighed down mentally, to keep you from not being able to let go of these traumatic events. So this is a mother who orchestrated a lot of traumatic events, because honestly, if we're being completely honest, if the mother manipulate and finesse this finesser of an ex, right? This probably isn't the first time that she's done this shit, right? So this is probably her orchestrating a lot of betrayals in your life from other people. And when I really got that energy of when that second raven went up to the high ground on the light post to look down upon the other raven, that's just giving me an air of like this person wanted to, and that really explains these cards here. With the 9 of sticks, this person wanted you to think that they weren't an enemy. So they wanted you to have your guard down, because when you have this in the upright, this is somebody who's very, very protected. They have the power of their ancestors behind them. They're holding the Bible and the gun. They know that they're spiritually protected. But this mother wanted you to feel like you did not have to protect yourself against her. So she probably was very, very fake to you. Although intuitively, you still picked it up. You still understood what was going on. You may not have been able to put it into words, but you just understood it was this very, very like dual energy of publicly showing that she loves her daughter or loves her son. I'm getting a feminine energy here. So like love her daughter, but in the house treating you like shit. And nobody may have known. So with this 3 of sticks here, this is giving me somebody who's standing on this cliff, like after they've set the wheels in motion, after they've set the chaos emotion, just standing back and letting this son energy, or somebody who she may have even came off like she was motherly to this person so that he could trust her, right? Because she had to gain his trust to be able to do this, right? And this is where I really am coming into the finesse or being finessed. So this is somebody this is still somebody who, even though they're a liar, even though they're a manipulator, this is still somebody who's mentally immature and can still be manipulated themselves, right? And that's what happened here. So the mother set this in motion, made this plan to stab you in the back with this person, right? And they wanted you to not think that it was them. They wanted you to have your guard down to the mother, to never think that you were going through it with your ex because of them. Like, they never wanted you to be able to put two and two together, that they were the link and the common denominator to this. And that's why I said there's a lot of importance surrounding this karmic mother, because the karmic ex has been coming out. Somebody want me to get this out, and I'm going to say it. A lot has been coming out about this karmic ex kind of being the culprit or the main person that you need to be upset with. But there's a mastermind behind this that is really the mother, which is really the biggest enemy, like the biggest boss, the actual devil in all of this, right? So that person, this mother of yours, really set things in motion. And this is somebody who's been setting things in motion since you were a child, ever since they noticed that you were gifted. And this child in this picture looks like maybe 6, 7, 8, like from 6 to 10, right? That she could have just noticed your spiritual gifts kind of enhancing, you having like supernatural experiences and being open, because of course, if this is your mother, you think that you can trust your mom, and telling your mom what's going on, maybe dreams that you're having, and they're looking at you like, what the fuck? And kind of like a fear of one, you becoming better than them, but a fear of what you'll do to them. It's just a fear here. But with you coming out being a gifted child, right? This ancestor card came out. So this ancestor card, and if you look at it, it's like a baby and then like a half of a skeleton face. So that just like symbolizes to me your ancestors being within you, and your ancestors being with you and watching how this karmic mother has treated you your whole life, right? And watching her try to diminish you, and them protecting you from it. So with this ancestors in reverse, though, this also gives me that because of the level of manipulation and the years of manipulation, the years of illusion, the years of kind of using other like hitmen, sending in hitmen in your life, all of that is under judgment right now. And this ancestors in reverse is letting me know that your mother's ancestors have abandoned her. So you could, of course, because this is your mother, you could share some of the same, ancestors. But this is like because you're chosen, you have a royal lineage that your mother does not share with you, right? So I'm thinking like your mother's mother, your mother's father, ancestors like that. So that lets me know that they've turned their back on her for what she has done to you, and she is now wide open and not protected. Also, this karmic ex, that same energy for them as well, losing the respect and the protection of their ancestors. So now karma is really open to come into people's lives and balance the scales, like this temperance energy, like the chickens coming home to roost of the situation, right? And why are they coming home to roost? They're coming home to roost because this 10 of knives is in reverse. You've healed from this. You were able to pull every knife out of your back. And that's not to discount just how horrible this experience has been for you, because this is like torture since your childhood from this mother, right? This karmic ex came into your life, but to be honest, this is just the current betrayal. There's been so many other betrayals that this mother has orchestrated that you're probably not even aware of, but now you're coming into the knowledge of, you're putting the dots together, you're putting two and two together, you're looking back and reviewing situations, especially with this Mercury retrograde energy. You're really looking and evaluating like, okay, damn, like this is what she was doing when, and the dots are connecting, right? So because you've healed from this energy, this isn't necessarily an anger or anything that you're holding on to. This is just you reviewing, God giving you kind of like a view of what was really happening, because you knew it was bad, but now you're kind of seeing just how bad that was, right? So with this investigate, this is, I wasn't going to use this deck originally when I pulled these cards, but when I was moving this deck out of the way, these three cards fell out, and I really think that they are kind of clarifying that karmic mother's energy. So investigate. So again, she came in the spiritual form of like a raven. So a raven is somebody who is very clever, very cunning, very smart, but in a negative, in a dark way, in her sense, right? With this Mother of Knives being in reverse. So that's using knowledge to hurt people, excuse me, instead of help people. So that just, she was always with this eyeball. You could have felt like she was just always wanting to know everything about you, always asking you about your life, always trying to understand a plan so that she can understand how to ruin it, and she can understand how to put these knives in your back. That's why she always wanted to know what you were doing, who you were talking to, and that's where that ex comes into play. Just wanted to know everything about your life so that she can counteract it and ruin it, and then sit back from afar and watch her plan and act and destroy your life, and then pretend like she wasn't the culprit, right? Like it's these other people, like, oh my God, you just met some horrible people. Meanwhile, these are people who she's turned you against. It's a very sick, sadistic, demonic woman. So with that, we're all mad here. Everyone is a little bit different. So that really is giving me, I'm looking at this cat as like the ancestors, right? And this is being like the karmic mother. So with this gives me a traumatic cycle, a curse that's been on this family, a curse of that could have been passed down in the maternal line, right? So kind of saying like all of my ancestors acted like this. This is how my mother treated me, so this is how I'm going to treat you. With that, we're all mad here. So that really is given me, you kind of came from a karmic family, right? This behavior was definitely, I don't want to say necessarily, it was learned. It was learned because it wasn't healed, right? And we'll get into like what specifically about that wasn't healed. But we also had the forget who you are. So this person, this mother, was so deep in these delusions because she's been doing it since excuse me, you were a child, and you also could have been very deep in this delusions before you realized that it was this mother who was doing this shit to you. And it's just like she forgot who she was. Like at some point she stopped being your mom and she started being your enemy. And it's just like this very weird switch from somebody who is supposed to love you and the first person who is supposed to show you that example of love being the very first person that hates you. And it's a very sick and warped way to come into this world. But it really speaks to that power as being chosen, in that light that you carried that was so just bright. How loving you were, how caring you were, was something that was such great traits, were something that was offensive to this mother who perhaps didn't see that in herself and really wanted to commit to being this devil in your life. And with this forgetting who you are, like she completely forgot the role of mother and went full enemy, like full, not seeing you as her daughter, but seeing you as the fucking enemy that she had to destroy, right? So with this daughter of coins energy, this is kind of what she sees you as like somebody who is on their way to material abundance, somebody who's very loving, very nurturing, really cares about their family, really cares about the people who are in their life. They see you as that energy, and because they see that energy for you and kind of how people love you and how people take to you, because this is somebody who people are going to be excuse me, drawn to, right? The wrong people, karmic energy, is going to be repelled by it and hate you for it. But divine energy, people are going to love you and recognize the light in you and want to be around you and want to support you, right? And that's what she didn't want. So she made you a target. And with this hangman, this is to keep you stuck in those old cycles so that you wouldn't be able to break free. You wouldn't be able to walk in your authentic truth of who you are and show up in the world as who you are, so that you wouldn't get your blessings, right? Because of course you have to be in divine alignment and you're energetically in the alignment, like you're coming out now as the daughter of sticks, right? But it took you some healing to get back to this point. Now, this is always the same drive, tenacity that was in you as a child, but because of these experiences and the world getting its hands on you, really this mother getting her hands on you, now you had to heal those things and really not discover who you are, find out who you are now after you've learned these lessons, and realize that you were chosen, because the whole point of this was to show you that you were not chosen. So clarify this Son of Coins. Holy Spirit, clarify this Son of Coins in reverse. This plot or this plan that this mother had with this ex. Yeah, look. Karmic mother came out in plain sight. This was a karmic mother in plain sight. So to everybody else, again, that goes back to this is a person who was very good at pretending. Very good at pretending and showing the world that they were a... And look how this just came out. I'm still shuffling. This hating asshole green-eyed monster, your mother was jealous of you, and it was always in plain sight. And I feel like the people who had the spiritual eyes to see it may have been able to see it, but she was very good at covering up that she was jealous of her own daughter. Okay, and this is somebody who spent a lot of time creating those illusions, because this Mother of Knives, that's the difference between this Mother of Knives and the Son of Knives energy. This is somebody who's been in their pain a lot longer than this Son of Knives, right? Who has allowed that pain to corrupt them for a lot longer. They're a little bit darker than that X energy, okay? So clarify this Son of Coins in reverse, Holy Spirit. Nobody gave a fuck about me. Why would I give a fuck about you? So again, when I had said that this goes back to ancestral wounding, of this could have been very well been a situation that that she experienced with her mother, or some version of it that she experienced with her mother. Maybe her mother was in this like frenemy type energy to her, like she was into you, and she felt like because she didn't have a better mother that you shouldn't have a better mother. You know, it's a very selfish way of looking at things, instead of choosing to heal that and say, because I went through this, I don't want somebody else to go through it. I don't want my child to experience what it's like to go through life with a mother like this. They chose the dark side. They chose to punish people for what they went through. So under that was turning motherfuckers against you. That's what this mother did. You know, that's very much what this mother did. And this ex that she turned against you, like that was just one of many. You know what I mean? Like this, he was just another pawn in the game where it really wasn't even about him. Yeah, this came out again. I'm going to take it. It came out again. Nobody gave a fuck about me. Why would I give a fuck about you? Talking shit, and it's all lies. This mother could have told a lot of lies about you to this ex. Yeah, she told a lot of lies to this ex to turn him against you, right? This mother could have said that you were broke. She could have commented that you were just like, you didn't take care of yourself. Like really trying to downplay you to this ex, to belittle you and make him think less of you. Okay, and under that we had power hungry. This was a power play by this mother. She wanted to seem like she was, look at this. She wanted to seem like she was just knowledgeable, all-knowing, and yeah, I love her, but you know, she's flawed. Like, you know, however she had to fucking spin it for this stupid motherfucker to believe her stupid ass. But talk shit, but it's all lies and down low. So again, she tries to hide this shit. She tries to hide this shit. So, let me see. I'm also getting this down low energy for this karmic ex. So, I'm also getting this down low energy for this karmic ex. This could be somebody who, like, pops pills and drinks a lot. I want what you have, what makes you so special. This also could be somebody who is jealous of you as well. You know, not only your mother, but this person is jealous of you too. And it's really just you being chosen and them being jealous of this light that you carry, right? And them knowing the abundance that comes with that light. Yeah, wear your skin. These are people who want to walk in that divine blessing. Like they want to be able to manifest what they want. You know what I mean? Not realizing that that's because of a connection that you have with God, not earthly things, right? Yeah, like, and these person now are like running from your ancestors. Your ancestors are tormenting these people. These ancestors are tormenting these people because they were warned, right? They were warned to not do this to you. They were warned that they were playing a losing game. You're playing a losing game when you're coming up against somebody who is chosen, right? Because even if that person doesn't know that they're chosen, that doesn't negate the fact that they are chosen, and they have a divine spirit team protecting them that is way bigger than the average person's. So they're extremely spiritually protected. And for you to do this, especially to do this for this magnitude, this amount of years, collective, I don't know how old you are, but this is coming up since your childhood. And this is like, because you've displayed, yeah, scheme, plot, because you displayed spiritual gifts. This plan that she had backfired. This plan with your ex backfired. Clarify this. And this is all just clarifying what that plan was. You know, clarifying what that fucking plan was. Clarify this, Son of Coins. And we're going to get a couple more and then we're going to move on. Oh, Lord. Dirty offer. Dirty offer from a karmic lover. And I feel like this person didn't get a chance to do something, like complete the plan, because it has like times up right there. But these also fell out. Ooh. This person was stealing from you in plain sight. And that in plain sight keeps coming up for that mother. Clarify. Hold on. Clarify this in plain sight and thief, Holy Spirit. Clarify this thief in plain sight. Clarify this thief in plain sight. So, didn't work. Clarify this plan in plain sight. So somebody was really selfish. And of course, the coming out with thief, that makes sense. So they wanted to see with this Wheel of Fortune here in the world. They were like obsessed with your divine energy and obsessed with wearing your skin. That came out too. Like they wanted to be chosen. They wanted to be the divine feminine. And you see like this devil energy here, there's a lot of, with this Hangman, there's a lot of plotting, there's a lot of planning behind this demonic energy to keep you stuck and from being able to put the pieces back together. But with this Wheel of Fortune, this could potentially money. Let me clarify this thief. What was stolen, Holy Spirit? What was stolen? Or what was attempted to be stolen? Definitely like your essence. Like Queen of Pentacles. Money could have been stolen. And this could have been enough money to really set you up. But I feel like this mother feels like if you had this energy, you wouldn't, because you see how this Queen of Pentacles is like turned away, looking at something else. And there's this person who's kind of begging at her feet. There's a peacock, like just signifying that somebody really wants you to see them. And it's like you're not looking at this person. So I think that she feel like that you wouldn't give her any of this money if you had it. That you, yeah, like that. She also didn't want you to be able to take the money. She also didn't want you to be able to take the money and pursue your passions with it. So she didn't want you to have that that financial backing, because perhaps you're like into entrepreneurship or just to be stable. But this is passion. So this is like with your career, your work. she didn't want that to get up off the ground. She wanted every plan to fail. She wanted you to be in this sad energy of always thinking that everything was going to fail, because she would be in the background making sure that it did fail. She'd be this devil in the background, always plotting. That's why she always wanted to know what you were doing, who you were around. Like, she wanted to know who the players were on your board, so she knew how to manipulate them and move them like chess pieces. You know, but this is interesting because his mother hid this from you, but it's just like, because she don't believe in God, she don't believe that God is watching, which is interesting, especially with you being chosen. That's just a very, very dangerous game to play. And that card had came out where it was saying playing a losing game. This is like, if you knew like the level of karma that you would want to get for this, I don't think she would have fucking did this shit. Yeah, like Emperor, this is somebody who wanted to be very, very dominant and controlling over your life and the direction that you went. And this is under judgment because you've healed from that 10 of Knives and the 10 of Sticks energy. You've healed. You've come out. You've left these old versions of yourself. And actually, she actually elevated you spiritually, because these lessons that you've learned are allowing you to unlock higher levels of blessings, and they're now putting you into this energy of, you understand that you're a warrior, you know, because it's like, it's one thing for like an ex to come up against you, a friend, like a frenemy, but when it's your mother, when it's somebody who's that close to you, not even a cousin, but your actual mother, it's like, yeah, first of all, you're being guided to protect your energy from these people, because you're focused on moving forward, and justice is going to be served. And these people are upset about justice being served in the background too. But it's like the person who was supposed to protect you, when it's that specific person who betrays you in a form like this, especially working with your ex, this is very fucking diabolical in itself. But to know that this wasn't the only thing, it's just like the most recent. So, or the most prominent energy at play right now. But there's judgment being called right now on this. Yeah, okay. Also, if this person is continuing to do black magic on you in the background, because again, we did come out that they're very uneasy about that you're in this healed, uplifted, vibrant energy, balancing out the trauma and the pain that they put you through, and you're being guided to be that way by your ancestors, but they're also like, they've done some magic here and waiting for it to work, and it's not. It keeps being blocked. It keeps being blocked, and you keep being allowed to move on your divine path, because these cycles are closed. Like, this situation is over. And the situation is over because with this 10 of Knives in reverse, you've healed. And now that you've healed, you've released this situation, and you can allow, karma to come into play, because like your ex doing this to you is definitely a betrayal. And I don't want to negate the pain that you would feel or you have felt from that, but the pain from it being your mother is something that just hits a little bit harder. So what that tells me if you've healed from that, then it's like, do you know how fucking powerful you are if your own mother couldn't take you out? Like, if your own mother couldn't fucking take you out, somebody who, because remember, the first raven representing your mother was somebody who's been sizing you up for way before this ex came in the picture. Somebody who really knows all of your flaws, the intimate details about you. Yeah, truly the devil. I don't want to show the naked people, but certainly the devil in your life. This person has always viewed you as a star. This person has always viewed you as somebody who was like, just, you had this light about you. And they felt like they didn't have that light about themselves, so they became this devil in your life to try to extinguish it from you, because they necessarily didn't see it in themselves. And with this Hierophant, this is like somebody spiritually trying to figure out how to block your past spiritually. So I'm definitely getting a lot of spell work. They were trying to figure out how to get you to not come into your knowing that you were chosen and then acting upon that energy. Clarify this thief. Clarify this thief. Stolen. Alright, that's you coming up as a... Okay, well, some also Mother Empress. Okay. Clarify this thief. There's some type of offer here that they didn't want you to feel like that. I'm getting it. This is something that would have made you feel content and felt like, again, with this full energy, this is something that you would have been able to pursue your dreams with. Like somebody wanted to give you the money so you could be in this full energy, right? And they didn't want that to happen for you. With this Temperance being in reverse, they didn't want you in this calm energy of everything is cool. They wanted you in this traumatic, living out your trauma every single day, not happy energy, right? They didn't want you to be the Empress and the Queen of Cups that you are. They didn't want you to be pretty much a queen, like sitting on her throne. Clarify. Okay. Clarify. Clarify the Sun of Knives in reverse, and then we'll move to a different deck. That time's up card has failed. Time is up for something. Time is up for this plan. Karmic Mother came out again. Something's up. Clarify the Sun of Knives in reverse. Gaslighter. Murder for hire. So with this murder for hire, it came out with no remorse. So this is somebody, hitman. Okay, so this person, the plan could have been to actually unalive you physically. And this person did not give a fuck. This person was with that shit. And they agreed to be this hitman. They agreed to be this hitman. Now, remember, we said money was involved with the Son of Coins in reverse. Karmic sibling, and I'm getting this, like, this person could be, like, take the energy how it resonates. If this is not a karmic ex of yours, this could be a karmic sibling. But I'm also getting your mother viewing you as a sister instead of a daughter, but a karmic sister. And her, like, having that rivalry and competition with you as if she was your sister and not your mother, making her a karmic motherfucker. But we're saying what was done in the dark, roaches scatter. So, like, this plan, again, this plan was failed. This plan failed. And it was something they tried to keep on a down low. But that could be what's being hidden here, is they actually tried to physically kill you. And this was somebody who was gaslighting you, but plotting behind your back. And with this, it backfired. So whatever energy they tried to do, it backfired. This person could also have unhealed father wounds, and this person was also jealous of you as well. And look what was under that. It didn't even want, like, I had to, like, pry to get that card out. You'll never know it was me. This person never thought that you would find out that they actually tried to physically. And you see this hire. This is the person that hired them. This karmic mother. Let's see. Clarify this. Clarify this murder for hire. Clarify this. I need y'all to see this. This is a murder for hire. No remorse. Motherfucking hitman. Clarify this. Dirty offer. Clarify. Clarify murder for hire. So you're free of the situation. This is you, like, getting away from the situation. But with this hermit, this hangman, like, this person wanted you stuck as well, just like this mother wanted you stuck. But this is like also giving me sacrifice. This person with this hermit energy, like, this person also wanted you, like, isolated. So it's like also wanting wanting you to mentally break down. This could also be an attempt to get you to take your own life. And this person like wants to hide the money, wants to hide their involvement in this. They want to hide the fact that they plotted with your mother to actually take you off of this earth. And maybe with this hitman, they were going to be paid for it. They were going to be paid for it, and they don't want that to come out. And that's what that conspiracy is with those two ravens. Like, they don't want you to know that them even being in your life was a dirty fucking offer. And again, this is something that your mother fucking orchestrated. Collective. And this is all because you're chosen. It's all because of the energy that you carry. And this is jealousy. This is fucking jealousy. But like, look how far this jealousy is if her putting you through all of these things throughout your whole life. And then we're leading up to this. Let me see. So when you're looking at this situation, right? When you're looking at this situation and you're looking at this as, this is not a story of what you didn't survive. This is a story of what you survived, right? And I think it's really a testament, because there was a lesson involved for everyone involved here. You, your mother, and this ex. There was a lesson for everybody involved. So one, on that side, they now understand what being chosen means. That it's not, you're just not just tapped in, you're also spiritually covered and protected. Now God is displaying to them, and your ancestors, your divine ancestors, are displaying to them what that protection looks like. And that protection looks like not only your plan failing, but we're also going to touch on the karma that's coming from this, because I just can't even fathom you thinking to manifest this energy in a divine being's life and not understanding that you're manifesting it in yours. You see what I'm saying, Divine Collective? So that's the lesson that these people are over here learning. Now, the lesson for you is, now that this has been exposed, the level of betrayal and the level of danger that you have survived and overcame, it's like, it taught you who the fuck you were. Like, if you ever felt weak at any point, to know that not even your fucking mother could take you off of this earth, to understand that you were that fucking protected. Like, that ain't no little thing. Like, you need to realize who the fuck you are. And that was part of the lesson of you experiencing this, was God had to show you that nothing can break you. Even though these people wanted to, the knives were in your back, they put these burdens on you. You were always being chosen. You were always somebody who was strong enough to overcome it. Now, God knew that, but these people didn't. And that's where the failed test really comes in to play for them. You passed the test by not allowing these betrayals to make you become this person. How do I know? I know because you're in this balancing out energy. You're going towards your wheel of fortune. So you can't be in this negative, dark ass energy that they're in. And that's what's boggling their fucking mind, because they're just like, bitch, we tried to kill you. What the fuck you happy about? Well, you're happy because you're protected. And you just learned just how fucking much, right? So there was a lesson to be learned for everybody here. So with this, it says, let your feelings out, all of them, even the ones that scare you. So as you were healing this, right, as you're really learning just the level of betrayal, it's okay to feel disappointed. It's okay to, process your emotions with this. But the biggest takeaway as you're processing that is, remember that you can't change anyone but yourself. So you can't change how your mother views you. You can't change how this ex thinks about you and how he's jealous of a woman. We're not even going to get into we ain't even going to get into that piece of it, because that's a whole reading within itself. But just really understanding that the lesson here, the lesson was always for you. It wasn't for these people, right? God needed you right in the position that you're in right now to be able to manifest the life that he needs you. He needed you to understand that you're a warrior. He needed to understand you, that you were battle tested. And not only to him, like he already knew how great you were when you came into this world, but you had to learn your power. You had to learn how to detach from situations that were purposely trying to manipulate and destroy your future. You had to learn how to use your discernment and developing that discernment. And it was a tough ass journey because you have a lion ass, manipulative ass mother who would have made that a prolonged journey for you, right? So there was a lot of lessons and a lot of pain endured in learning those lessons. But it taught you how fucking strong that you are, right? And now it's like Spirit is saying, it's make time to play, have fun, and be free. This is something to celebrate. Look what the fuck you survived. Look what the fuck the energy, like, look what you are protected from. You know what I mean? Like how much God loves you. And it's proving, it's passing the test, right? It's passing the initiation and saying that you deserve to be chosen because you chose to heal instead of choosing to become this mother. Because again, we said ancestral curse, right? This is something that was in her bloodline that she chose not to heal. But when it came to you, divine being, you were the one who healed this energy, right? So we're going to, let's see. Let me get a couple more for what your current energy is, and then we're going to end out because we are already at 59 minutes, y'all. I ain't even realized. All right, might have to do a part 2 to this. Again, forgive me. Holy Spirit, what is the karma for this? What's the karma for this murder for hire? What is the karma for this mother for hire child? What is, let me use this one. What is the karma for those shits? Well, one, you're getting a new beginning in love. The same beginning they tried to block. And it's an emperor coming in. This is somebody who is really, again, in that Father of Coins, King of Pentacles, very stable, emotionally balanced, you know, somebody who's expressive, who knows how to have those emotional conversations with you, not somebody who's going to lie, cheat, steal, manipulate you, such as this person. Yeah, that Emperor's coming back out. What is the karma for this, Holy Spirit? What is the karma for this murder for hire plot between this mother and this fucking ex? What is this? What is the karma for this? You also may need to do a return to sender, or you could be being guided to do a return of sender. Yeah, so the karma here is that you're going to have a loving relationship with this. You're still going to be this confident version of yourself that your mother worked so hard to destroy. This is somebody who's very spiritually tapped in. You're becoming like goated in the fucking spiritual world because you have passed these lessons. Because this isn't like, again, and I really want to emphasize this is not no little frenemy friendship. This is your mother fucking trying to kill you, literally. And you bouncing back from that shit confident as fuck, still knowing now you understand your spiritual protection. And now you're going to have those people who love and respect you. And you're going to have a person, your divine counterpart, who you're both going to be abundant together, right? Two people that choose you is going to be the karma for this situation, right? The Lover's card coming out. And with this Lover's card, it comes out as divinely protected. Look at the ancestors watching and making sure that you come together, willing to beat anybody's motherfucking ass who comes and tries to stop it. Ace of Baskets. New relationship. Like, this really seems like a divine partnership, right? And this is because with this Hermit coming out, with this Dr. Grant is the Hermit card and this Big Queen, that's just coming out because you have done the inner work, the healing, and you've really worked through every single knife that was put in your back, every single negative thought about yourself. You've worked through all of your insecurities, right? And we're all works in progress. Nobody is perfect, but you've worked through that to get into this big queen energy. Like you're a queen sitting on her motherfucking throne now. Like you done been, not only have you been through some shit, but you have got through some shit now. You know what I'm saying? Successfully. And that's the karma for these people. The karma is them seeing that they didn't stop shit. You know what I mean? And now these are people who don't believe in God. Now you have no fucking choice. You don't want to think I'm real. Let me show you I'm real. Let me show you through my divine collective, because touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. Now I have to show you what the consequences for touching somebody who's been spiritually marked since they were a child. Now you're marked. Now you're the mark. All right, let's get one animal message to close out, and then we will be done, because we have been, I didn't even realize how long it's been. Goodness gracious. But, yeah, it's showing you how deep that shit go. Yeah, you showed, with this peacock, you showed yourself self-love. You found peace. You found peace. Like you have really, it pushed you to God. These people literally pushed you into the arms of God, where you now have this even stronger divine connection that you didn't have before. Now yeah, like with this owl, you have wisdom. Now you understand what he can bring you through. You are being encouraged to look beyond deceiving appearances into the true reality of a situation or a person's motives. You need to hear what is really being said, despite the words and emotions that are coming from the messenger. So, listen, letting go. Letting go of the anger of these people. Adaptability, transition, independence, yeah, vision. You're free of these people, and really you just need to focus on yourself. You know, there's nothing, you learn the lessons with these people. These cycles are closed, and now karma can take place. As catastrophic as I know that shit's gonna motherfucking be, like, spirit don't, I asked for it and spirit ain't even give it to me. That's how I know it's shit's gonna be nasty, because he don't even want them fucking knowing. He don't man, listen, you gonna see it, and you gonna know, you gonna find out about it. It's gonna be nasty, child. Yep, forgiveness. Forgive these people, forgive them, and move the fuck on. It didn't work, it's not going to work, and you don't need to be weighed down thinking about the situation when you have a whole destiny to live out. That's your focus right now, not these people. Okay? All right, collectors, so that is your message. I love you. If it resonated, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Sorry this was a little bit longer, but it was just a little bit deep. We had to talk about it, okay? So, all right, chosen one, I love you. Have a beautiful rest of your day.